Out of that waiting room, folks climb into the elevator because it's time to go all the way up to the 10th floor. Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt.
Everybody's cat.
Come
How's
on
it
in,
going?
climb into
How's
the
it going?
elevator. Get in here. We're going up to the 10th floor. We're going to ascend all the way up to the 10th floor where we can see Liz and Rick storming out of an office being like, I'm not going to be blindsided. And then if you swing your head to the other side of the hospital, you're going to see TJ and Lucas just working. Working and working and working.
Just working.
Nothing but work.
Sacrificing their New Year's Eve, right?
Hiding
Where
from
other people can go have a good time.
hiding from their problems at work. Until Isaiah's like, nah, man, I'm going to be the only doctor on staff tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Jordan. I did this for you.
Yeah.
For you. For you. Hello, Kelly. Kelly wishes us a Happy New Year, and Happy New Year back to you, Kelly.
Happy New Year.
And it's not just Kelly joining us here in the elevator. No, we've got Kita. Hello, Kita. Chandra. Rochelle. And Dan. Hi, Dan. Kaiwan. Hello, Kaiwan. And, Kelly. I said hello, Kelly. Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn. Who else we got in here? Who else? Oh my gosh, I think that's it. No, that's it. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hello.
Buddy.
Hello.
Hey, K1. Kaiwan. Thanks for spending all day with us.
Yeah, all morning. Kaiwan, all shows. I think he hangs out over at the JLJ studio as well, over at 2 o'clock or whatever, for the GH Minute Spotlight as well. So, Kaiwan, big fan of the soaps. And we're happy to have him here. I hope Cindus watches the replay, because I gotta say sorry to Cindus live here on the air, because I was really mean to her last week unnecessarily. You left your comments. Other people did as well, and they're totally right. So if you go to last week's podcast and read the comments, you know what I'm talking about. Otherworldly's totally correct. Cindus is totally correct. I don't need to give you that sort of attitude. Come on back, you guys. Have a good time. Leave your message in the chat. If you were there, if you reacted, if you saw it, sorry that you were exposed to that. My mother reprimanded me in real time.
Actually, I kind of did.
Yeah, that was a blast from the past. That made me feel 4 years old.
Well,
again.
I didn't use both names, though.
No, not both names.
Didn't do that.
Not both names, but it was the full first name. That's for sure. So I do want to take a moment to just say, sorry, folks, you're not going to get that from me again. I promise I won't be a bad host anymore. And with that said, let's talk some GH.
Let's talk some
or something.
GH.
Did you say that there was something you wanted to talk about before we got into it?
I just wanted to tell you guys a story because it's funny. And this is what happened to me. I'm sometimes not all that observant. So I you know what the FabFitFun is? I'm sure y'all know what that is.
It's like
It's a box where you get, makeup and doodads.
Yeah.
So I ordered myself that right before Christmas, and it arrives, and there's cosmetics in it mostly, and I found looked like a body spray and flowers on the front of it. Sprayed it on myself. Didn't even really pay attention to what it was. Body spray. I put it on, and I thought, gee, it's a little woodsy.
Okay.
But it's okay.
It's all right. It's a little masculine for my taste, but all right.
I liked it. Well, on New Year's, I got that box out and actually looked at everything. Put it away. Okay. On the label is a toilet bowl with flowers coming out.
You sprayed toilet like a
like poopery,
like poopery on you.
Like poopery, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's super funny.
Like poopery, yes. That's what I wore on Christmas Day.
So I took the guy in the. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know. Just poopery cologne. Perfume from my mama. Chandra says, oh no, so does Liz. I guess they can understand and relate.
Well, I just thought I would share that with you guys because
Sandra's laughing her butt off.
It's funny.
Oh my gosh.
And it's true.
East Coaster thinks it's funny too. Look, yeah.
So I'm not, I did put it on top of the toilet tank now, so
people know what it's for.
Yeah, I won't be wearing it again.
Oh, that's too bad. You smelled lovely that day, Mom. It just covered all of the aromas. So that's
So
good.
yeah, let's. I just hope that 2025 is that silly.
It's poopery free. So it makes me think of the guy that lives on the other side of the wall here, because I dumped him in San Francisco on the way there, right? And
Hmm.
he went to one of his favorite shops and got some stones and some crystals and some incense and all of this stuff that he's into. And he also just grabbed a little bottle of Nang Champa, which is a type of incense. A little spray bottle of it. He's like, oh, and his initial thought, like you, was, let me grab this body spray. And the end of the day, he goes to put it on, and something stops him. He gets a little thought, hey, read this label first. And so he looks at the label, and it's an air freshener. And he's like, thank God I didn't spray this on myself. And then he spritzed it in the air, and then came back into the room 15 minutes later going, wow, you can still smell it. This is really good air freshener. So read the
I
labels.
just thought
Read
I'd
the
share
labels
that,
is the
guys,
whole.
because I just that's my life. Yes.
Chandra relates to a time in which a recipe called for cinnamon, but she put in red pepper instead. So we've all been there, is what it is. A little lack of observation moment. Ignoring the warning signs, seeing things like a toilet depicted underneath the flowers would have stopped you, much like Sonny Corinthos going, I'm a ticker. I shouldn't do anything except go see a doctor. And that's not the decision he made. He went, I'm a ticker. Let me go shadow box.
Yeah.
And then he fell down. And he tried to grab his phone. And then it was like Tracy was there going, you want your phone, Sonny? You need your phone?
He couldn't will a phone into his hand, could he?
Get it. Hey, East Coaster showed up. Hi, East Coaster. And Amaya. Hello,
Hello, everybody.
Amaya. GH was so good, Amaya says. GH was so good this week. I'm happy I ended my hiatus. Well, I hope other people have rejoined the show too and feel the same way. Hi, Lishan.
I'm looking forward to being on 5 days next week, but
Yeah.
I think perhaps it might be preempted one day because of Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, so at least because of Jimmy Carter. And then somebody was saying something about some sort of news event happening on Friday, which isn't the presidential thing, because that's at the beginning of the week, right?
Yeah.
Because we're coming up on January 6th again, and isn't that the day where they rioted last time? So that's the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So East Coaster loved my Tracy reference. They referenced that story last week when Drew and Tracy were spatting at each other, and nobody reminded anybody that Edward was faking. He wasn't really having a heart attack. He was testing his daughter, and she failed in miserable fashion.
Yes, Drew tried to just pull everything.
I'm not that bad. Think about how
Yeah,
bad you made out with Ned.
Yeah, he talked crap about, even talked about Alan, his own father.
Right. Ned made out with Monica. What I did was no different. It's no worse. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
DT sentencing is on Friday. I see.
What?
I see. The Trump sentencing from the trial that he lost before the election.
Yeah, that very well preempt.
It could very well. They're not throwing that man in jail. Not to get political or anything, but they're not throwing that man in jail. Man, it was a good week because we got every topic pretty much flowing through the chat right now. People are into it.
Yeah, they kind of hit on everything a little bit, didn't they, this week? Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. I mean, they touched on all of the major stories this week. They made sure that the 3 days that they had, they didn't waste on New Year's and this, that, and the other stuff. They advanced story.
Let's finish talking about Drew since we did mention.
Yeah. Michelle wants to know how the hell Drew even knew about Edward and his fake heart attack. Somebody told him. Like everybody knows that it's Monica's house because Alan gave it to her. Even Violet knew that. So there must be some classic Quartermain stories that come up.
This is what I, off camera, of course, but Monica's still in the house. She doesn't do nothing but have people come to her room and she tell y'all stories.
Yeah, sit down. That's what they do. Sit down next to me. I got something to tell you about what I did in 1987. 1987. Ellen and I were on the outs again. And I started hanging out with another doctor on staff.
Monica and Leslie used to fight over Rick a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew has Jason's memories. That's right, Chandra. Drew has Jason's memories. Selective, but he has them.
Sure.
They've never purged those memories from his brain in any sort of official plot capacity. They've just kind of ignored the fact that he's loaded with Jason's memories. I think
so he all kicked his own ass then.
I mean, to a degree, because like Drew's being Drew, right? There's no real similarities between Drew and Jason anymore.
No.
But when Billy Miller was playing Drew, when they were first, kind of introducing the character and having to rejig what they had Billy Miller doing, I saw, and I think Billy understood this too. He was playing a non-broken Jason. Jason's got a broken brain. I talk about it all the time. But Drew didn't have a broken brain, but he had all of Jason's memories, which means that his emotional connection to all of those memories is different than somebody who's emotionally broken like Jason. Because even now, Jason talking to Sonny, because Sonny's like, I got to give the business to you. And Jason's like, well, practically, I cannot take that anymore because the circumstances around my life are such that I cannot do it. Not, I love my son too much. Not.
And the fact that Sonny would even ask him is ridiculous. Okay. At this point, yes, I understand Sonny wants out of the mob, and they're trying to have, Sonny go in that direction, maybe have the mob be a backstory, not a front story going forward. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it would be ridiculous that he would even ask him. He knows that now Jason's life is different. He's not really doing mobster stuff anymore. Not that they've led us to believe in him.
Right.
Either. He's not beating the crap out of people.
He's not trying to stake his claim in mafia land anymore. Now he's just maintaining.
Yes. And he's winding up, and his ventures are off stories, not part of the mob, other things.
It's about threats to his family. It's about drama that his family's dealing with, custody battles, failed relationships, that sort of thing.
Yes. And his connection with Anna and the things they ask each other to do. And, the Brennan wanting to be part of whatever, or wanting Jason to be part of whatever.
Yeah.
WSB and all that.
I mean, I can understand why Sonny would ask Jason, though, because there's the loyalty, and also Sonny has had a full-on family while being the kingpin.
True, but you wouldn't. I just the fact that Danny doesn't have another parent.
Well, when it comes down to it, Danny's immaterial to the Quartermain, the Corinthos crime family.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Give up everything because you got one kid? We're just gonna not make our millions because you want to hang out with Danny? like these are real things that could have come up.
I'm looking forward to. I know that Mrs. Wu is going to show back up. I'm looking forward to Selena showing back up. Preview. I think she's going to be a badass. And she's going to be a threat to Sonny and all that stuff. Yeah. I think Sonny will get out of the mob eventually, but it's not going to be.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be super quick either.
No, they have to come up with an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Come up with something. Amaya says that Jason's run the business before, and they actually talked about it in the conversation. Hey, Sonny, if you need to take 2 weeks off, 6 months off, 3 months off, whatever, I got it for you. But when it comes to now it's me forever, I can't do that because of Danny.
Yeah.
And so, I understand. I do not fault Sonny at all for trying to pass it to Jason, because that, up until Sam's death, was the plan.
Well, I can pass it off to the little mob princess.
She might just have to take it.
They're on Charles Street.
Well, the thing is, in speculation galore, because we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we saw a preview that was immediately taken down of what's going to happen next week when it comes to Michael and a house fire.
I know. Is that Sonny's penthouse?
It looks like it. So, so with that, just in 3 days, Michael's going to be lit on fire, right? So that just goes to show that we don't know what the hell is going to happen on this series.
We don't.
What a left turn. And it was already being talked about in the chat before we got on. It's a big GH topic right now. So if you weren't exposed to the penthouse fire accidental posting, quote unquote, that General Hospital put up. Spoiler alert.
I don't find that I necessarily believe that was accidental, because it was told to us days and even weeks ahead that he was leaving. We've known for weeks he's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
We knew when his last day filming was and all that.
Yeah.
It wasn't all very secretive.
No.
And now supposed leaking a little tidbit of and knowing that there's some kind of fire and he's going to be injured. Obviously, he's going to be injured. It seems a little convenient again.
So yeah. So what I feel is GH is trying their hand at a little bit of viral online marketing. And in order to really achieve success in that realm, you have to kayfabe it, which might be a term that you recognize. Kayfabe is from pro wrestling, and it's the idea that it's real. So you got to keep in kayfabe, or at least it was for a long time. Not so much now, but there was for a long time there was a push of keeping the kayfabe. So if you had your wrestling match and then you went to the local bar afterward, and people who were at the show with you, you're not slamming drinks with the person that you just wrestled. Because of the idea that this is real.
Oh, so you show some animosity there at the club.
Yeah, you glare at them, or maybe there's even a point where too many of the fans have shown up, and now you gotta kind of bump each other and shove each other. A little something. And this was more prevalent in the 70s and 80s than it is now. Just because the internet kind of killed all that. But yeah, I think sometimes you need to keep kayfabe alive. Oops, we accidentally posted this thing, left it up for 45 minutes, and then took it down, which is enough time for people to screen record it, for them to share it. For the active people who talk the most about General Hospital will have seen this in the 45-minute period, or someone that they know, like us, is going to share it or talk about it or tell them about it. And now this huge plot development with Michael is so well known, but we don't know the result of it. We just know what's going to happen. And that has fed attention, a GH hashtag, chatter, trending topics, all sorts of stuff has put General Hospital at the top of the list.
We don't know exactly where it's at. We suspect we know where it's at exactly, but we don't know how, why.
We don't know why it's happening. We don't know what started it. We know that Jason, Sonny, and Michael seemingly is involved in it. And the only true reason we know Michael's involved in it is because of the text that came with the video. You don't see Michael's face in it. You wouldn't, because it's a stuntman. But, other than him going, you really don't know who the person is that's on fire if it wasn't for the explainer. So, online viral marketing, same thing that Laura Wright did when she did that one interview with Soap Opera Digest, and then it was shared as if she did 50 interviews. And one of the things, people didn't like what she was saying, or she had a soundbite or something that really triggered conversation. And it was shared and shared and shared and shared and shared and shared and shared by all of these soap press sites. Cameron Matheson on the red carpet for something else is like, oh yes, Drew and Willow, oh yeah, they're going to be like Luke and Laura. Online viral marketing, hashtag GH. What is Cameron Matheson talking about? These two are monstrous couples. Now people who might be disconnected from GH or walked away because they're not interested in what's going on see what the hell is going on with Drew and Willow. Maybe I should tune in one day. A love story? That's not what I've heard from my friends. Let me see what's going on. And he also picked Luke and Laura, which is one of the most polarizing and divisive couples that exists today. If it was 1985, it would be different. But in 2024, it is one of the most polarizing and divisive couples that General Hospital and soapdom has ever had. And that's what Cameron Matheson picked to compare Drew and Willow to?
Yeah.
That man's too smart for that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because now everyone's going, Luke and Laura? Willow and Drew and Luke and Laura? What? Which makes Luke and Laura, Willow and Drew in the same tweet. Which just proliferates the exposure. Yeah. I know I'm really getting into the weeds when it comes to the technicalities of it, but I feel as though this is a marketing strategy from General Hospital.
In today's world, huh?
In today's world, using the internet for the free publicity that it can offer. I don't know. What do you guys think? You let me know in the chat. Let me read what some people were saying while I was ranting. It was, Chandra agrees, quote unquote, accidental. I'm glad Chandra's on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy is unhappy with the show, but I think that's come to be expected. Says that Michael's plans are going up in smoke. Yeah, that's very true, isn't it? That was in the 2025 preview.
Yes, Michael is, he's going to be, they're going to, they're going to Dylan cash him. Right?
So yeah, I think
they don't put him to sleep or have him in recovery for a very long time.
So yeah, I do believe so. From my understanding, Chad Duell finished filming before Thanksgiving, so this has been kind of a long thing coming from the perspective of the showmakers.
Right.
And I really feel like over the last couple of weeks, they've been very dedicated in pushing things in a particular direction for this to have the most dramatic impact it possibly can have.
Sure.
Because you've got a lot of people feeling terrible for Michael.
It seems to me the story is sudden. So I think Chad's departure was somewhat sudden as well.
I think that we were going to get a much more lengthy split between Michael and Willow as they battled their feelings of betrayal and ultimately trying to figure out what is right for their future. Is their future right together, or is their future right separated? I think that Michael would not want to split up the family based off of the things that he said so far. I want to maintain this marriage as best I can. One, because I do love Willow, and two, because I don't want to torture my kids. So I think that was the intention, was for them to do this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And then when Chad said, "Nah, I'm out," they went, "Okay, well, we got to get rid of Michael, so let's do it in the most attention grabbing. We're going to give you a stunt. We're going to do a huge thing for Michael. That way, Chad, if you don't want to come back, we have a blank check to do whatever the hell we want with Michael after he has a new face from plastic surgery."
Yes. Or you can come back and we'll have miracle face.
We'll fix you like Ava. But I don't think Michael is dying. I think he's going to be severely injured and will need to be sent somewhere for a year to heal. Whether it's, Sweden or the same place that Ava went to or somewhere else.
Section 6.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. People who never watch the show will want to tune in to see what's happening, says Chandra. It's a brilliant strategy.
It is.
Chad Duell said that he will come back eventually, says Kelly. And also Frank Valentini says, at this time, there are no plans to recast Michael.
Right.
So they're putting the character on the shelf.
They are. They're putting him on the shelf. Now, this is what, as a viewer, I don't want to see this, but I think we're going to have to see it for a little bit. Willow and Snow White and the demon, I don't want to see it. No, I don't like Drew anymore. I just don't.
You're not supposed to.
I know I'm not supposed to. But it's effectively working on me. I don't.
Yeah. Just closing out the Chad Duell conversation, Kelly says that Chad Duell said that Frank Valentini left the door open for a return. Absolutely. I'm sure he's left the door open for the next 6 to 8 months for Chad to figure out if he wants to come back to acting, or if his plans for soul searching aren't what he wants them to be, or whatever the circumstance may be. I can totally see Frank Valentini saying, all right, we'll give the character of Michael a break. It's good for the show anyway. It's good for the character of Michael. And it might be good for you, Chad. I like you. But that doesn't mean that door isn't going to be slammed shut at some point.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to, if they want to utilize Michael again. He's not ready to come back, but I could see them giving him at least a year. I really do. He's played him for what, 16?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then Chandra says that Frank Valentini gets a lot of flack online, but it seems as though he looks out for his cast the best he can. And I agree with that statement.
So do I.
So that's what's going on. Chillo is no more. Absolutely, Tyrone. Chase and Willow are not getting back together. Chase is very happy with one Miss Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Keisha agrees. Hello, honey dip Keisha. That's what I predict. Michael will leave for a year and come back with a different face.
Yeah.
It's been done a lot.
It has been done so many times. And maybe he'll come back. That kid, that actor from Young and the Restless, Noah, I thought he was great as stand-in Michael. I really did.
That's quite the plastic surgery. We shaved 6 inches off of your height, changed your hair color and your entire face.
Hmm?
Oh my gosh. He's also on State of Mind next week. Chad's interview is in 2 parts. So yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Well, that'll be very interesting to listen to. It sure
Yeah.
will. That'll be very interesting to listen
All right. 2 weeks of Chad Duell on State of Mind.
to.
Check
Yeah.
that out, folks. Chandra says that poor Michael, he's been shot in the head, sent to prison, abused there, and set on fire. You forgot one thing. All of his kids were taken away from him, even the unborn one.
Yeah.
It's a commentary.
Now, and now, and now that if Michael's going to be gone, Nina's just going to even try to web she'll stupidly will just weave more web. Nina will, because she can't help her dumb self. This one, she really showed us the storyline of Willow and Michael and how she just decided what Willow was going to do.
Yeah.
Willow's almost acted like she's back at dawn of day listening to her mom.
That's such interesting, because you say that, and chat just mentioned that as Willow. Dan says Willow found her new cult leader to follow in Drew. It's a lot of commentary on that, and I wonder if that's what they're trying to do, or if that's just how the audience is interpreting the events.
Yeah.
Because if I were to just take Willow as Willow, an independent island of character, this is not something that she has never done before.
Right.
She was still with Chase because she loved him so much, and he deserved her attention, and he did this, that, and he was sick, and he got poisoned, and all of these things, even though my heart moved on.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's heart moves on. She doesn't stay in love. She'll love them. She'll care. She'll want them to be happy.
I think that Willow is actually kind of behaving like she did back when she was Dawn of Day.
But here's also maybe, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm curious to know if the show would ever say that.
Sorry. No, like okay. Nina is like Harmony in a way.
I just don't see it that way. I don't agree with it. Yeah, of course she's manipulating it. She's steering it. She's not even manipulating it. She's just giving her really bad advice that Willow is taking.
Sure, and she's telling her what to believe, actually, because there's been no evidence, because Willow does not know about Michael and Sasha. She has no clue yet.
Not yet. No, but she had. But I get it. I get it. And once I get to the end of the Willow explanation, I think I'll be a lot. I think it'll make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see, because we didn't see Willow when she was in Dawn of Day. We saw her afterward. We saw her after she had left Shiloh and was hiding the baby from him and this, that, the other stuff. We saw her fight Shiloh. We saw her resist Shiloh. We saw her do everything but be like, oh, you're so right, Shiloh. Let me hug you.
Yes.
Like, we never saw that aspect of Willow.
Right.
So the relating of, oh, yeah, she's acting like Donna. We don't know what she acted like in Dawn of Day. We didn't see it. She's acting like somebody who is pursuing her heart, and her heart is always going to go after the person that she's fallen in love with the most recently.
Yeah.
We saw it with Michael, we're seeing it with Drew, and we're probably going to see it again once she sees Drew stipping some aid in DC. That's how I feel about it. I don't see the same cult leader. I don't, because then we get into conversation and topics that I don't think is trying to approach.
No, I don't think so either. But that's just what it reminds me. Her being so naive to me, yeah, is what leads me to think that way.
Naive in what way?
Naive that she just doesn't see how she's being manipulated by Drew and Nina.
She is falling in love with Drew. How do I explain this well? I haven't had to put my thoughts and feelings into sentences about this particular thing yet. I see two people who right now find each other to be the most interesting thing in their lives. Right now. I think Drew is excited about the fact that I got this girl that is really cool. And that's what he cares about.
I guess I right now, because of how much I don't like Drew. I just can't think of him being in a love story. I just can't name it that.
It's because it's not true. It's not love that we want to support.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I
see
just
two
can't see it
people.
that way.
I see two people who fell for each other, and their life circumstances are not such that it should have happened.
Right.
And Drew is taking the F it all, I don't care, I just want you, Willow path. Okay, Michael, I don't care. Like, what matters is the fact that you and I are doing a thing. However people react to it, how they feel about it, doesn't matter. What matters is what's happening between you and me. Is it forever? Is it right now? None of it is showing me strength, longevity, or anything like that. But I understand Drew's mentality of screw those people. It's you and me, babe.
Wait till
it's the wrong one.
Wait till she finds out that both of them are not telling her the truth about their own romps on the rug.
I don't even see him as a manipulative creep. He's a creep. But I think that there's a lot more malicious nefariousness that is being put into Drew that isn't really there. He's making the wrong choices. He is taking another man's girl. He is putting himself in front of everybody. But I don't think he was like, okay, sitting down at night with his pen and his composition book going, so on Tuesday, I'm going to tell Willow that Michael is going to divorce her and take the kids. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to tell Tracy to F off. And then by Friday, they're actually going to confront each other. And then on Sunday, Willow's going to come talk to me about it. I don't think that it's that deep.
No, he's a natural butthole. It's on the fly.
He's just being selfish. I don't see him as the manipulative cult leader who's trying to F everybody. And I just don't think he cares about what they think.
Well, and actually, but that's not what I don't think that's what I'm saying, though. Okay. It reminds me of that. It makes me think of that. You know?
Yeah. And I could be totally incorrect and way off base.
And that's not what that he's really trying to do, is now be the new, soul taker.
Right. I just think he's just being super selfish about it. I think that Willow also has always been a selfish with her heart.
He's being very Quartermain. Yeah. He's being old school Quartermain.
Yeah. And then Willow's always been very selfish with her heart, and she's going to go after the person that's making it beat the most. He's true.
Very Edward in his actions right now. He really is.
Yeah. He's just being an a-hole, is what it is. And I think that a lot of audiences have gotten to a point in which they cannot tolerate any a-holeness, and then that just ruins everything, and I'm not interested.
Well, I guess the bottom line is I just don't care for the storyline of Willow and Drew and the direction it's taken since the boathouse.
That's perfectly valid. I think
that's pretty much it.
Great messy drama.
It is great.
I sincerely, I've got no problem.
I'm gonna have to be super convinced to love it if Drew and Willow stay together, and I'm supposed to feel like it's a love story. If it goes down that direction, I hope I can.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that. I really do not think that's the intention.
Well, I sure hope not, because I'm not looking forward to it.
I really,
I was going to have to make myself like it.
I think that what we have is villains. Like, name the chat as well. Help me out. Name the villains on General Hospital. Name them. Give me the name of somebody that is a true villain on General Hospital.
They don't. Well, right now, and he's just popping off. Is what's his name?
Sidwell.
Brand
spanking new character.
Exactly. And you can't even call, even though we know Cyrus is up to no good right now. You can't even call Cyrus 100% a villain.
We don't know his motivations for what he's doing yet. And also at the same time, they have spent the last year and a half of Cyrus not being the villain. They decided, oh my God, folks, I'm watching the show, and I realized there's nobody to hate on this series. Do you hate Helena? You sure do. You're entertained by her. You think she's a great villain, but you don't want her to win.
No.
You want to see her lose.
You want to see her lose.
And so while Drew and Willow are warming up together and seeming to win, and Michael's getting beaten, getting set on fire, and this sort of the other stuff, now we have people like Honeydip saying, I'm actually a little curious as to what Carly's going to do in this. With all of this going on, and with Michael getting set on fire, I'm curious about Carly. And I'm not usually curious about Carly.
Everybody's going to be so heartbroken. Everybody's going to be so heartbroken.
It's going to touch everybody in the canvas. This is that big thing that we're talking about in the 2025 preview, where an event happens that rocks the entire canvas and shakes the status quo. Michael getting lit on fire and some sort of terrible, like Lydia Look, who plays Selena Wu, finds out that Sunny had a heart attack and arterial fibrillation.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, okay, well, let me just blow up then.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Hey, story. Michael's set on fire, and now only Carly's there to make sure that Willow doesn't wind up with the kids. Story.
Ooh.
Story. It's good story. So
Boy, talk about granny wars. My gosh, Nina and Carly.
Granny
wars.
Now we don't need a granny war. Now it's going to be Carly versus Willow. Of all I did for you, like, she can take a Lucas stance. Lucas like, oh my God.
And push her off the cliff like she supposedly did her sister.
Oh, how dare you relate me to Nell? Well, you're acting like her. Nell also tried to take one of Michael's kids and was a royal bee about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Remember how I wound up with Wiley because of Nell? Yeah, I'm going to call you Nell, says Lucas. He didn't say that. Abe is a bad girl, but not a true villain. See, so Sidwell, Cyrus, though, yeah, you can't name any others because GH doesn't have any. Ava's not a villain, Rick's not a villain.
You can name all kinds of people that got an angel on one, on a devil on the other.
Right.
You can name so many of those, right?
Yes, but I think Ava's a great example of this.
Yeah.
She hasn't really done anything that bad in forever. Even walloping Nicholas was right. Hiding him afterward wasn't.
No.
But smashing him in the head with that gargoyle? Yeah, he's about to march upstairs and kidnap her kid. Yes, that was the right move to make. Yeah. So, like Ava hasn't even been a villainess. She has just been someone who doesn't agree with the established heroes of the show. So, Esme was the show's last villain. Yeah, and they tried to reduce the villainy that Esme had to keep her around as well.
And before that, Nell.
Right.
Nell really didn't have too much of a redeeming factor.
Right. So I think what they're trying to do is create, out of the characters that they do have, is some more people who are going to make a decision that affects the people that you do like Michael.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what, folks? I'm just going to say it, and we've been saying it a long time on the podcast too. Willow Snow White, married to Toothpaste Michael. They got nothing. They got nothing soap-wise.
No, with all couples, marital bliss does not work.
Not for daytime.
Not for daytime, not for long.
Not for daytime.
There's the drama and all
then
that.
Then you get bored with the coupling, right? Just like Willow did. What am I going to do? I'm 30. I'm 30 with these 2 kids. What am I going to do? Stay married to Michael forever? No, I'm going to upgrade.
Oh my gosh. Choose another bloodline, girl. Damn.
No. Court of Main's holding. Oh, goodness. Anyway. So that's my rant. That's my rant on gross Nina and Drew. Absolutely gross. But I don't think it's ruining the show. I also don't. Somebody on the Xbox, on Twitter, was like, man, what a poor message to send to women. And I'm like, only if you take it as the thing you're supposed to do. Like, here, a smart person learns from their mistakes. A wise person learns from other people's mistakes. You touch that stove, you go, oof, I'm never doing that again. Mm-hmm. But if you watch your big brother touch that stove, you're going to go, I'm not going to touch that thing.
Yeah.
That's true wisdom.
It's true wisdom. True wisdom.
Kelly finds Rick to be annoying.
Rick is annoying?
He can
Oh,
be.
but he's fun annoying, isn't he?
He
And
can
his
be.
pairing with Ava, his possible pairing with Ava is awesome because they're both just always really smart people, but always just trying to talk themselves out of the worst thing that they really want to do.
Kelly says some fans love the Michael and Willow pairing. You're right, Kelly, and some fans love the Willow and Drew pairing as well. You can find them on Facebook. Oh. Oh gosh, Willow is 37, Michael is 33, but then we start getting into, well, what year were they born in? And that just doesn't matter in Soapland.
It sure doesn't.
Because I had somebody talking to me about...
you know what? I just can't imagine how Carly's going to spin out of control when Michael is hurt.
You know, I need to know more circumstances as to what's going on. She will have something to do. She will have a part to play. What it is, what's going on, how involved does she ultimately need to be? I don't know. What if Drew lights the freaking print house on fire? I don't know.
If it is indeed Sonny's house, the penthouse, well then Sonny will, I would think that Sonny and Jason are going to blame themselves in some way.
I guess.
Based on just location alone.
Yeah. Oh. See how great this viral marketing is. Here we are speculating about something that's not even going to pop off until Monday at the end of the episode.
That's true.
And I've had people too going, oh man, I can't believe they're doing this to Michael. He didn't even have a chance to tell Willow off. And I'm like, you don't know what's going to happen on Monday. You know, a preview doesn't mean it just happened. It's going to happen on Tuesday.
Yeah, Michael showed some real restraint last week when he walked in on those, talking.
Michael
like that.
is so flippin' smart. Nobody's giving him credit. They're talking about the writing and how unfair it is and all that sort of stuff, and they're not considering the content, which is Michael has been through this and through this and through this and through this, and he's not going to just start screaming at Nina in the middle of the room there.
He's doing some quartermaining of his own.
I'm not even sure if it's quartermaining. I think he's just being non-reactive publicly because it's only going to help him. He's been through it.
But he's working on strategy. But he's working on strategy at the same time.
I can't give strategy only to the quartermains. Humankind does strategy, you know. But he's not a fiery Corinthos about it. He's not Mama Carly.
No.
Not in the moment, at least. And it's to protect the kids, and it's to not have an ugly custody war.
Mm-hmm.
Just look what's happening.
He's on referring to of how unfortunate it was, and how it's a bad memory of his childhood. Those occasions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He remembers as a kid the tumultuous divorces between Carly and Jax, Carly and Sonny, custody battles, wars. This man has been shot because of family wars and issues and problems and da-da-da-da-da-da. Sasha too. Like Sasha's a damn lead. I'm gonna do this on my own because of the reasons you just told me, Michael.
Yeah, it's not fair. I don't think it's fair to do that. I don't think it's fair, but I understand why. But boy, that's a story being told on soap opera, isn't it? Not fair, but and the same thing with the custody.
That's so. It can't be fair. If it's fair, it's not interesting.
How many times on General Hospital has someone had their parental rights just taken away from them for the good and the safety of the child?
Just ask me. I know.
Yeah, all 5 or 6 of them. Huh?
At least at one point in their life, I wasn't really their daddy.
Exactly.
With the exception of Donna.
There's their 6. Dante, Michael, Christina, Morgan, Avery, Donna. Yeah, 6 of them.
Lila Ray. Or Lila. Not Lila Ray, but Lila. Yeah. Too many kids.
Well, no wonder Maurice doesn't want Sonny to have any more young.
No, I went down and I think Sonny just had a secret vasectomy. Yes, Michael finally has some spice to him. Just want to see what he does with all this information, but we won't know until he comes back, says Rochelle. I don't know about finally, because we saw him having spice. We saw him smash a branch against a tree when Nell was in town, okay? I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also at the same time, like, it's a good comment because he hasn't had anything to be spicy about in a little while. He's just been good guy dad and da-da-da-da, and how dare you not tell Willow her mom is Nina,
Yeah, and a little squabbling and company squabbling. He's done
Yeah,
that.
but there hasn't been a
Yeah.
real reason for him to be spicy until now, and so that's good that he has the inspiration to do it. Also at the same time, you can't keep a character at level 10 all the time because then there's nowhere to go. And then the actor gets tired, and then the character gets tired, and then everybody's tired of 10. And so you got to work back up to 10, go back down to 5, go back up to 10. Taking a year off is a great way to do that. So this is only good. I really only see good things from this.
If they're going to take, so Michael's going to be, of course, that with Michael being gone, there's going to be more airtime for something else.
Yeah, as always. When somebody leaves,
and I choose that to be Jonathan Jackson, please.
Sure. Absolutely. Or somebody, I mean, we know we had a 2025 preview with Cody doing some stuff. We know that Selena Wu is on her way back. But yeah, anytime, hi Vita. Excuse me. But yeah, anytime somebody who is usually on goes away, you got to fill that airtime with somebody.
Sure.
And I'm just in a place to accept it. I'm not here to fight it. I'm curious. What a huge stunt too.
You guys, let me ask the
Go ahead.
chat. When Willow finds out about Nina and Drew, the romps on the rug, when she finds out, who do you think she's going to be most angry at out of the two of them? Or is she going to just somehow let it go? What do you think?
Well, let us know what you think in the chat. My opinion on this has changed in the last week, and it's all because of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Because before, I kind of took Willow as being like, ooh, this was something that totally wrecked my life. I probably shouldn't pursue it. Let me figure out what life looks like with these two kids and not Michael. Didn't really expect her to kind of just continue on with Drew. I understand it, but I didn't really expect it. I thought there would be a little more tension and drama before they were standing next to each other and supporting each other and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And that might have everything to do with Chad Duell's departure. And that might have everything to do with the fact that Chad's leaving. They're accelerating the story so they can get to this next part and have something to do. It's entirely possible that that's the case. I don't know. But up until that point, I genuinely thought that Willow would be like, we both made some terrible choices. Drew, I really can't judge you too hard over something I pretty much did myself. However, now, you slept with my boyfriend? Is the reaction.
Yeah.
So.
Because, if they actually say they're in a relationship. I think she will be mad at both of them. I think she'll forgive Drew probably, but have another withdrawal from her mother where she doesn't want to have anything to do with her for a minute.
I understand. I understand that expectation.
So it's a big old fight.
If that's the case, cool. I'll watch it. I'll comment on it. I feel as though we've really told that story a bunch already. And for them to go back to that without the support of Michael, without the support of Carly, I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. I can see her being mad at both of them for a moment, but I don't see her being like, nah, screw you both. I'm going to go move out of town. Because at that point, that's her only option. So I think that she's going to maintain a relationship with Nina. It'll be kind of strained, but she's, I think, going to be more horrified by Drew in that than Nina. Because then she's going to learn that, well, we did it because he was trying to help me get my relationship with you back. He was trying to help me ingratiate myself into the Quartermain family. He was trying to help me be with you. And that is where Drew was manipulative. That is where Drew was manipulative.
Yes.
Oh, maybe you should give Nina another chance. He didn't really feel that. He was trying to do it for her because of the business and the this and the weird tension and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
That is something to actually be PO'd about. But before she was sleeping with Drew, before Drew even kissed her the first time, I really don't see how those two things interact.
I don't remember this. So Did Drew and Nina, the last time they got hot and heavy, was that before he kissed Willow or after? Or was he kissing on both of them just for a hot minute?
My recollection,
Don't
and let me know if
remember.
I'm wrong, but my
If
recollection
it not,
was
it wasn't at the same time, it was real close.
real close. I think that he pretty much like slept with Nina for the last time, then kissed Willow and never went back to the Nina well. That's how I remember it. Let me know if I'm wrong, though, folks. You guys remember a lot more
Well,
detail than I do.
that gives him a little bit of credit for something.
Kelly wants to know what else happened on GH. Honestly, Kelly, not a whole heck of a lot because it was only 3 days. There was a lot of this. There was a lot of this. Drew and Willow and Michael and stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of that.
A lot of that. And then of course, there was Sonny, and he's having hick ticker problems, and Isaiah had to come help him.
Yeah.
But not save him, but help him.
Yeah, I mean, that was a launching for, I guess, what's going to happen next week, because there was a little bit of conversation. I'm going to give you the business. Oh, Sonny, I can't take it. Well, we got to come up with an exit strategy. Launching a new story. There really isn't too much to say other than, oh, Jason's not taking it. They're on the way out. Yeah. We can speculate. Yeah. But last week I was talking about how Sonny hasn't had a mob story in 2 years, and all they're doing is just waiting for no more mob. Then he can be a philanthropist. Then he can be giving advice. Then he can tend bar at Charlie's or whatever it is that they want to have Maurice Bernard do. But it's not going to be leading the mafia anymore. They're even burning down his penthouse. Like, of the symbology that they can do.
That's true.
Because that's a crime lord penthouse.
Yeah, the statues will be gone.
The statues will be gone, exactly. So he's going to have to move somewhere else. Could have a backyard. Yeah, I wanted to throw a slide out for Donna. Swing set. And I'm going to install a pool, but we're going to put a fence around the pool so Donna doesn't fall in. You see, he's going to be responsible, Sonny.
He is. He's certainly not going to go live on Spoon Island. He's not a Cassadine.
No. And the Cassadines have that back because of Grease. Grease was like, nah, Nicholas couldn't give that away because technically he was dead at the time or something. I didn't really follow. I didn't quite understand what Alexis was saying to Ava.
It didn't really explain how the Cassadines were able to say no.
No, never mind. It's something about.
We're going to take our money back.
Something about who that actually really belonged to at the time. Apparently, in the timeline of events, Nicholas was not in charge of this money that he gave to Ava in the divorce settlement, which was like 80% of the Cassadine fortune, by the way. She's freaked out because she opened up her bank account and didn't see $3.7 billion in it anymore. She saw 1.8 million and went, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, that just tells me right there, she could have given Trina her gosh darn Christmas bonus at 100% if she still had that much funds left.
Let me tell you about a job that I have that doesn't even give me medical insurance, okay? You can't trust your employer, all right? All right?
Yeah.
All right? You can't trust them.
No.
You can't trust them. That's all right, though. They're just going to have to give me a higher hourly rate. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. Make up for it in the difference. If you're not paying for it, you're still going to pay for it. Because this is how I make my money. Everything in my life, actually, you're paying for. So, give me more money.
There you go.
Does Michael know that Drew slept with Nina? No. I think Curtis knows, and Ava, not Ava. Curtis knows. Curtis knows. Like almost everybody, but Michael, Willow, and Carly, essentially.
Pretty much.
Tracy and Ned know. Cody and Sasha know, which means
Sonny
Maxie
doesn't
knows.
know.
Sonny doesn't know. Sonny, Carly, and Michael are like the only three. Jason doesn't know about the Nina thing too. So all of the people who really shouldn't know still don't know. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time before it comes out.
It is just a matter of time.
Too many people know. Too many people know.
Too many people know.
I wonder if it's Sidwell or Selena that burns the penthouse down. It is actually a wild kitchen fire. Sonny left his pasta on the stove. Walked away, had a deep conversation with Jason. Was like, well, we got to figure some stuff out, Jason. And then went to go have a cup of coffee. He forgot about his pasta sauce. And there's just a raging penthouse fire now because of it.
Well, we're going to find out. And hopefully we get enough GH to really find out. It doesn't get a bunch of preemptions next week because this and that. That we get to find out next week.
Oh gosh, Tyrone says I'm living General Hospital. Fair is boring. I think they mean they're living for General Hospital because fair is boring. But if you mean you're leaving General Hospital because fair is boring, I say stick around because I don't think the show is going to stay fair. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
AJ's parental rights were taken away because of his drunken actions. Yeah. Hey.
For sure.
Hey, there you go. Kids, people losing kids all the time. Tyrone might be a little behind on the broadcast. Oh, I think Ava and Rick is going to win the custody of Avery. I think that Sonny is going to have a major change of what he finds to be important. And maybe he'll soften on Ava.
Might.
Maybe.
He might. He likes to take care of his baby mamas.
Right. And then, like, it's like,
hard for him to hate his baby mamas.
I really do feel as though the Maurice Bernard of it all is just like, can't I just be nice to people on the show now? Can't I just be like, Ava, come over for the birthday
Well, then
party?
I don't know. They have to make him more They will have to just he has to be really different if he doesn't do the mob thing. It is so much a cornerstone of his behavior, really.
I really can't even say that. Like, what's the last mafia thing that was really influential on his life?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Jason came back and he's like, I
Maybe
don't
I'm
want to
just
rejoin the business. And then
maybe
he
I'm
did.
thinking more persona than I am.
Yeah, the dark, moody crime syndicate boss, Sonny. Like, that's how you always known him. So letting go of that is like letting go an aspect of the character. But in the stories that they've told, they let go of that aspect of the character a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now they're just wiping it clean.
Well, they have to give him some kind of, they just can't make him Steve Hardy. They can't do that. They certainly can't make him Doc Martin from All My Children. They can't do that.
No. But he also
What's
still had.
Going to give him? So what I'm saying is, what's going to give Sonny an edge? Even though that's really not what they've been doing with him.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that he necessarily is going to have an edge, but what he will have is experience. And so when Christina picks up the crime or Christina gets involved with something at the bar that she shouldn't be, he can be there to be like, hey, here's some advice.
Well, I know that Maurice would love to have big story going forward with Kate Mancy. He really likes her.
And it could be tension of...
And I think their scene work is quite good.
Yeah, they clearly like working with each other. So I think that you just might, I think that, I just think we're going to get pretty much the same exact Sonny that we have now. He's just not going to talk about the business anymore, and he'll just be a coffee importer.
Yeah.
It could be a year-long story, though.
They might as well shut down the restaurant that doesn't serve food.
Unless they start serving food in it.
Unless they...
They just turn it all legit. All of his holdings are just now legit.
There you go.
Just legit holdings left and right. And now this could also be a year-long storyline. I'm not saying by February he's out, right?
Wouldn't it be funny if at one time they have they're in the park there, and over there at Perks, there's Sonny serving up with Corinthos coffee.
Hey, actually, I've perfected the coffee blend. You see, I'm actually now the live spokesman. I go to restaurant, selling Corinthos coffee. I liked Lexi Ainsworth so much more. Great. She was good.
It was good.
I don't think that she would be carrying the same weight that Kate Mancy is, though. Not with the same aptitude.
I think with all soap operas, and there are a few that, there are some instances where they're quite successful at it, but it's really hard to give story to an actor that played innocent and played growing up child and do that big transitional jump to real adult storylines. That I think it's easier if they switch actors in that.
It is. Yep. Absolutely.
And even though big things did happen to Christina when Lexi was playing her, she played the hell out of Donna Day.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the story of the baby and everything and it being Lexi, wouldn't has
Lexi Ainsworth is a much more sympathetic actress. You want to like Christina a lot more when Lexi Ainsworth is playing her versus Kate Manzi. Because Kate Manzi, her performance, and sometimes in interview, she does not come off as warm. She does not come off as friendly. She does not come off as somebody where you watch it all the time and you're like, oh, I want to hang out with you. That doesn't mean that she's terrible and she's not fun and she doesn't have great relationships with her friends and families, but she does not, to me, appear to be very approachable.
Yeah.
And because of that, natural instinct, natural way of being, and then the way that she plays characters, I just think that that people want to dislike Christina more with Kate Manzi playing her, and that is on purpose. They hired her to steal the baby, and probably recognized that Lexi Ainsworth would win the fan war of who gets this baby because they like Lexi Ainsworth so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's hard to transition to completely different kind of stories and leave childhood completely behind.
Leave it completely behind. Also, at the same time, when you have a younger actor who's played, say, Emma, for example, you had that one person, Brooklyn, whatever, play Emma from a little kid to today.
Yes.
And that's been her job. She hasn't been here playing this character, playing that character, doing this, taking that class. I mean, she might have, but she wasn't out there in the public spotlight. She wasn't doing a bunch of independent films. She didn't have a bunch of guest starring roles on sitcoms and all that sort of stuff. Which would be the same for Finn Carr, who plays Rocco. It's the same thing for Asher Antonison, who plays Danny. When you're on a soap opera that's on 5 days a week, you're not doing a whole heck of a lot else to expand your repertoire and get better at what you're doing. And when you're a little kid, you're playing kid things. And now suddenly, oh, by the way, since you, an actor, are 18, you didn't really go to school because you were going to school here. We now need you to jump maturity and play stories that you have never experienced in your actual life.
Yeah. And and there, like I said, there are instances where that's not the case. Like, for instance, Eden jumped it.
She did. She absolutely
sure did.
But she also had a couple of transitionary storylines that were in there, and that's just due to focus and dedication on wanting to have a mainstay character stick around on the show.
Yeah. And they did recast her a couple of times too.
Until they found somebody that they thought might grow into potentially the actor they want to be. The same thing with William Lipton. If William Lipton didn't decide that he wanted to take off, they would have continued to expand his role, continued to give him progressively more adult storylines to play, all the while continuing to coach him, which they obviously had been doing, on bringing the most out of his performances. So I think that was investment. It was an investment in the future of General Hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't get that with every single one. Switching out Brooklyn for this new person to play Emma, that's an investment in the future of General Hospital. Clearly, they've got a plan for what they want Emma to be involved in.
Well, they don't want her to be as sweet and innocent as old Emma, that's for sure.
No,
and you know what? And I would have loved to see her come back. Why not? Because I like it when, the same people play the characters. I like it.
Yeah, people do. They like that familiarity.
I like it. But since they decided to write Emma with a hard edge, and she's not going to be just like, oh, hi, Grandma. No more of that,
No.
And then she's going to have this, a rebellious side. I think if we had the old actress, if she was still Brooklyn, it would be more upsetting to me, actually.
Kelly, are you still here? Did you leave? Because we're not talking about Drew and Willow anymore. Come on back, Kelly. I think that Emma off camera has developed some serious soap opera skills. And you're totally right. Brooklyn would come back every once in a while and be like, "Hey guys, remember me? Exactly. You think of Robin when I'm around," which is the thing. It wasn't about Emma. Oh, it's Robin's kid. It's Robin's kid. Ah.
Yeah.
And now Emma needs to be her own full-fledged person.
Yes.
And with that, on Soap Opera Land, you gotta lie. You gotta be deceitful. You gotta have a secondary plan. And I like the fact that we're seeing that with Emma. And I also like that she's not evil. She's chaotic good. That's what we call it. She's
Chaotic
gonna do
good?
good. Yeah, chaotic good. She's gonna do good, but the way that she might achieve that good is through a little bit of chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Reality is, says Sandra or Sandra. Reality is when an actor is college age, they want to go to college, and that's a 3 to 5 year commitment. And you're totally right, Sandra. College will remove an actor lickety split.
Sure.
Days of Our Lives, we lost Tate because he went to college. College for Sidney Michaela. College for William Lipton.
Yes.
Brooklyn went to college. No more Brooklyn as Emma because she's busy.
Right. Yep.
Even flippin' Jake went to college, and they said, "Okay, you're going to France."
Exactly.
So yeah, if you the fastest way to remove a character is for the actor to go to college, and then a 3 to 5 year commitment.
It's perfect anyway because the age of like 17 to about 24, 25, soap operas don't know what to do with that age gap.
Not really, because you're not old enough to get into a drunken squabble. But you're old enough to make a baby, and it's just awkward also to do that story when you're that young. And then now also this character is now saddled with a child for the rest of their run. So, can be a little affecting as to what you can do. You can't
unless they have somebody steal your embryo and then hide it somewhere, and then
it comes back 10 years later. Old Emma Drake was nice. Current Emma Drake is also nice. She just lies more.
She's just she's just like her mom, Robin, if you add Hood on there. She's Robin Hood.
Hey. Oh, gosh. I think she's really good, and Mo loves working with her. Talking about Kate Manzi, says Charlie. Would love to explore Christina and Lucky's friendship and others to make her a little softer and layered. She's been pretty singularly focused on making the wrong choice ever since they switched out the actress. So it would be nice to kind of have maybe somebody being like, listen, I've been all over the world, and I think that you're being crazy. Like that. And that might have a lot of sway with Lucky. She might come to really trust his experience. Twitter had a meltdown last week because this man interviewed for a job, and then they assumed that means that it's only a matter of time before Lucky and Christina are upstairs in bed. And I don't see it playing out that way.
I don't see it playing out that. Would I say that it won't happen? Absolutely not. But no, I don't see it playing out that way. I just, I just like Jonathan Jackson so much, and I've been watching him for so long. And like I said earlier, I love it when they actually use the same actor. For long straight. I want him there because I want him somewhere. Jonathan Jackson.
Excuse me. I don't think that there's any worry about them recasting Charlotte. I think that they're investing in Scarlett Fernandez. The fact that she broke both of her arms and they did recast her for not even a short time. It was several months that we had a different Charlotte. And then for them to bring her back when she was totally healed and stuff, I think is the show showing us that they like her, they like working with her, and they see a future with Scarlett Fernandez in this role.
So were you surprised with Charlotte's, were you surprised two things? Were you surprised that Valentine gave her the choice?
No.
And were you surprised with her choice?
No.
Okay. Me either.
Valentine has shown that he is a good, caring, and attentive father. I see the reason why Valentine took Charlotte with him, and it's because of what Charlotte said. It's always been you and me, Dad. He's not going to want to go on the run because he would be compelled to return to Port Charles on a regular basis to check in on Charlotte. So in order to keep both of us safe, both of us must be on the run. Like, I understand that decision. It was hasty. He didn't have time to think about it, and it's what he decided. And I think that makes sense for the character. Valentine has already realized his influence on Charlotte. He realized his influence on Charlotte when she put the snake in Ava's bag. And Charlotte was pretty much like, yeah, we do that to people we hate, right? I'm sorry the snake didn't bite her. And he's like, oh, you need to go live with Lulu for a little while.
Yeah.
he loves his daughter immensely. He wants her to be skilled, smart, safe, powerful. But also recognizes and realizes that she also needs other influences than Valentine Cassadine. So I'm not surprised that he gave her the offer. because that's what Valentine would do. And I'm not surprised that she chose to stick around with him, because that's what Charlotte would do. So, yeah, no surprise. I liked the scenes. And I tweeted out, actually, that this time that Charlotte is on the run as a teenager is only value to a soap opera in the future. Because she gets to come back to town at 20 years old or whatever it is, or 18 or whatever they decide to do it. She gets to come back to town loaded with soap skills. She will know how to lie. She will know how to hide. She will know how to distract. She will know how to live in soap-filled Port Charles because of all of these skills that she learned from her secret agent spy dad, who's also a criminal.
And here she is, the sweet combination of Cassadine and Spencer.
Just, yes. I have to give it to Dante as well. Dante has been a superstar in the post-Death of Sam story.
Oh, telling Lulu off this week, not really telling her off, but just it was so much grit behind it, right?
Like, so and there is something special about Alexa Havens and Dominic Zamprogna. I don't know if they decided to go the Alexa route because the chemistry is there. Because not only do I believe that these two people still massively love one another, I also believe that they do not like each other at the moment.
No, and I tell you, that Lulu is reckless as can be, isn't she? She's pretty reckless. Lulu is.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dante's like, listen, you're alive because my fiance died. Which isn't totally accurate, but also at the same time, kind of true.
And her behavior and what she's exhibiting right now, her behavior shows that it didn't matter.
She didn't care.
You're going to let yourself get killed in the next 24 hours because you're an idiot anyway.
Like, why did we even give you this liver? We could have just let you die in the bed if you were wanting to not be a part of the world anymore.
Yeah. Can't help but that he'd be heartbroken and pissed off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just, it does go to show that for too long, General Hospital avoided a major dressing down of a character. Unless Carly was doing it, Like Carly would always be like, you're being an idiot bitch, Like she would just be be happy to do that. Sorry for the language. Excuse me. But really, like the Lucas coming in to be like, listen, I gave up this kid years ago, and you're just gonna take him from the guy I gave him to. Like that's some good crap. That's some good stuff. All right. We got Rick also, coming into the aid of Elizabeth and being like, all right, so as her lawyer, this was effed up. Well, it's our investigation. We have to know. And honestly, I know I'm bouncing around all sorts of topics. I also did give it to Terry in that scene too. Terry was there because she had to be, but she contributed nothing to trying to attack Elizabeth. The only thing that she had to say in that whole thing was, we need to talk to you about this. Portia, on the other hand, is just like, I cannot wait to fire this person so we can get over the fact that they're looking at records. I do not need them to continue to look at records. Portia is trying to fast track it into this and leave Elizabeth jobless so they don't continue to look into shady practices at General Hospital.
Exactly.
Portia, just like Willow, just like Drew, just like Cyrus, has been decided she will be a villain. And not that lovely villain where you're like, oh, I hope that she really wins. No, she's going to do some nasty crap to people.
Ooh, boy.
For selfish reasons.
Well, I hope she does. I hope she does.
Right?
That sounds
because
fun
it's
to
only
watch.
good. It's good stuff. I just, I know that our fans, I know that the people who watch and listen to this podcast agree and understand that having people making poor choices is what soap opera needs. I just hope that the rest of everybody out there in the internet and soapland conversations and Twitter and all that get to a point in which they can appreciate the story that they're watching without being caught up in whether or not it's right. Because it's not right. They're doing bad things to each other.
Yep.
Willow is not right.
But for misunderstood reasons, though, very often.
Travois. Hey, Travois. It's been a little while since I've read your name here. Hey. Says Ava better not kidnap baby Ace and hold him for ransom. I don't think that's going to
That would
happen.
be funny.
That would be super funny, but also at the same time, I think that she's gotten the point from from Laura and from Alexis that there's very little that those two can do about the fact that the Cassadines have taken their money back.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to just go on over to go back to the gallery and have a good day.
But to continue on that point, though, Ava has a lot of sympathy toward children now, and she did before, but it's much bigger now. A lot of sympathy, a lot of care, a lot of love for babies and for children, and I just don't see her.
And for her, Avery.
Because she kidnaps a baby, and then what? Like, the threat has to be, give me this money or I'm going to hurt the kid, not give me this money or I'm going to raise him, you know? Like...
Yeah, yeah.
So I just don't see that choice. But who knows? I didn't know that they were going to light the penthouse on fire and Michael was going to be like, I don't know how to stop, drop, and roll. So who knows? Who knows what the future holds for General Hospital?
I just know in the next, you know what we've seen and what we've been known for General Hospital the last 4 or 5 weeks, the canvas is going to change.
Yes. It's interesting because Michelle says they're finally going to make Portia interesting. And it's a phrase that I see a lot. They're finally going to make blank interesting. It's become a common phrase that people use when they're talking about the shows that they like or shows that they've been watching for a long time. They're finally going to make blank interesting. Whether it be a wrestler or a character on a soap or something, they're finally going to make blank interesting. And I always find that statement to be very interesting myself because it's a total 100% self-perspective statement to make. Because I found Portia interesting on other parts of stories before. I found her interesting with Oz. I found her interesting in her tension with Jordan and Stella early on with her relationship with Curtis. I found her performance of Curtis finding out that Trina is actually his daughter was good and spot on. And the thing that really took away from Portia in that moment was the lines that they gave her to read, which did not include, which I think is the number one reason why Portia would have kept this a secret. You were so strung out on drugs at the time, Curtis. What the hell was I going to say?
It's true.
They didn't approach that. They didn't approach that.
I think though, it's not that she's never been interesting. But
it's waned.
She needs something new.
She needs something new. The character needs something new because she's done the mom. She's done the mom. She's done the mom. Now she needs something other than I'm Trina's mom and Curtis's wife. And this is them. She's having trouble keeping a secret in her career of a quick decision that she made because she really hated Heather Weber.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be this huge thing in which her cover-up is going to be worse than the crime. I'm so excited.
I like that. And she'll lose Curtis in the end.
Yeah. And that thing, no, I'm not saying anything bad, Michelle. Find who you want to be interesting, find who you don't want to be interesting. That's totally a you thing. It's just the phrase that you used. I see often from other people as well. So and so is finally interesting, and it just such a self-perspective thing, which is cool. I want your perspective. That's why we have an open chat. Drew is finally interesting, says East Coaster.
Well, you can call him that. Absolutely. Yes, he is interesting.
I have interest when he's on the screen. Interest in watching his life explode. Listen, man, this guy is
a creep. He's just a creep.
He's a creep who thinks he's winning, and it only is a matter of time before he starts to lose and starts to be really villainous about it. Ava will hire Rick to get her money back. Maybe. I think Ava and Rick are going to be busy doing other stuff.
I think they're going to be doing all that stuff.
They're going to be doing all that stuff, and he's taking
all
that
court. Stuff.
And he's defending the baby, and he's getting the money back, and I'm Rick Lansing, damn it. Do you think Willow will get full custody? Daisy asks Chandra. Chandra is not sure, but we'll see. I think that she will want full custody. But I think that Carly might go, I think Wiley should live somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be just cut and dry. I think there is going to be granny wars because of it. Nina and Carly.
A bit. I don't, because Nina is very potentially about to be on the outs as well. I know I just said that I don't think it's going to turn into another Willow Nina war, but that doesn't necessarily mean that once Willow finds out, she's still going to be like, okay, linking arms with Nina. What do I do next, Mom?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
I want Ava to take over Sunny's business, trade custody for money. I'll take over your business, Sunny, if you give me Avery.
Actually,
and I'll make sure you still get your cut of the Corinthos crime family empire.
Very interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be interesting, and it was
interesting for Nina and for Ava and Sunny to be on the same team.
I'm with it, honestly, because if they did want to keep an element,
not romantically,
if they wanted to keep an element of the mob, giving it to Ava is compelling because she's someone that can do that good lady bad actions really, really well.
Oh, they could just Jerome her up.
Yeah.
They could.
Carly and Sunny have no true legal standing here. If Willow was a negligent mom, yeah, she isn't. Well, that's, at least because we're getting into the real world discussion of how this would really go down in a custody battle. And when it comes to Soapland, it's just not that predictable. They could decide that Anna's the best person for Wiley because it's so planned and they can.
Yeah. So, in real world, yes.
She might not have the strongest case, no, but that doesn't mean that she can't argue and have her case sound better.
And they necessarily wouldn't have to be fighting for 100% custody either. They could be visitation,
or you're going to come hang out with grandma. Also, at the same time, too, Carly is not beyond being like, hey, judge, here's $50,000. So I can have Wiley. Like, that's not beyond Carly. Like, it really isn't.
Not beyond Nina either.
Charlie, you let me know if you would like do a backflip and not be very happy. But I do feel as though that Carly's got some stuff in her arsenal when it comes to her grandkids that she'd be willing to use.
I think in 2025, we're going to see more Carly and Brennan.
I think that the tail end of 2024, after they reestablished Jason back on campus, they gave Laura Wright and Carly a bit of a break so they can refocus and use her dates for something that's a little more direct. Like Elizabeth, Liz was kind of floating around here in an episode a week, as they were saving her dates for Jonathan Jackson and Rick and all of them, right? So I think they might be doing the same thing with Carly because we've been very Carly light, unusually so.
Yeah.
Can Rick take over Sunny's business?
Oh, and a little bit of
cool.
Did you see that our Steve Burton became engaged?
Yes, Kelly, I hope you're here. We're finally talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Steve Burton.
I'm sorry?
Congratulations to Steve Burton.
Absolutely.
He's going to get married to that lady.
They released like 6 or 7 photos at him on his knee and everything. Lovely. Congratulations, Steve Burton.
I don't know. I don't know if I would ever be married twice.
I can't say that I would, and I would hope that I would never be in a circumstance where I would have the opportunity, honestly, because I don't think I'll ever get a divorce.
No.
I can't see myself getting married again. No way, man. I'm just too much. I'm too much for most people.
I'm not even that. I feel as though, like, listen, I didn't live Steve Burton's life, nor do I have the relationship with this woman that he does. So his decisions are his. These are not commentaries about him. All I can do is tell you about what I would do in a similar situation. The first one did not work. And it didn't work 2 years ago. I'm not hopping back down the aisle right now.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. That's just me.
That's just you.
That's just me.
That's just you. Well, I hope Steve Burton and I forgot her first last name.
I don't know.
Her last name is Lindstrom.
But it's not John Lindstrom.
No. Not her first name. But anyway, and I'm happy for Steve Burton.
But also at the same time, I've never really officially been married either. I'm very much in something similar, but I've never been married. So maybe I just don't have the same respect for it that somebody who has been does.
don't know.
I don't know. I'm so happy for Steve, says Michelle. After everything he's been through the last couple of years, he's on a total comeback, both professionally and personally. And you know what, Michelle? I got to agree with you because I think that he has really been giving it in his performances.
I think so too.
He's a happy, happy person.
He seems to be a very happy person, yes. And I think, that how they've written the character of Jason to be a little more broad, a little less stone cold.
He's got to wake up
A
because
little
of
more
Danny.
range.
He's got to wake up because of
Stone
Danny.
Cold, even though I know everyone wants Stone Cold to 100% go away.
No, I don't think he will.
Ever.
I don't think he will.
But they've written him more broadly, and I think that Steve Burton is enjoying it, and I think he's very happy being back. And the fact that his personal life is back on track.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's great. It's wonderful. More power to him. Congratulations, all that. I hope that he's super happy and this one lasts, forever and ever. I do. Yes, and I am happy for him, says Charlie, and all that sort of stuff. And and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Happy for that, Charlie. Congrats to Steve, waiting for Jason to take over ELQ is what she's waiting for.
Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be funny? I thought one of the cutest things that they did during the holiday season, I believe it was Sasha, was speaking to Jason in the kitchen and said something about the photos in the house that she saw with him wearing a sweater with a reindeer.
With a reindeer on it, yes.
I loved it. I love the reference to that. I loved it.
It's good stuff. It's good. Before we run out of airtime here, we should probably discuss gosh, what was it? It was just in my head, now it's gone. I guess it wasn't that important. Some sort of thing.
Sasha's not going to wind up leaving town, Matt.
No, she already said she's not.
You're not going to leave town.
Oh, that was it. It was Sasha taking Michael's baby. So you said that you're not super happy, super agreeing with that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think that Michael deserves a place in this child's life?
I think that if any father that wants to be a father and is not a danger and really wants to, have some benefit to his child's life, I think should have an opportunity to actually do that.
What if that comes with a mob family and stuff? Or people that I've been working for the last year that I just can't frickin' stand because all they do is cheat on each other and argue.
Well, Sasha, if you felt that strongly about it, why you got such close connections to all of them? Why were you married to Sonny's cousin? If you feel that scared.
Well, but also when she was married to Brando, she was also like, so you're never working for Sonny. You're leaving Cyrus's employ. You're going to be a mechanic. And Liam is never going to know about the criminal past that you had. It was basically her thing.
But pretty soon that's a moot point because Grandpa Sonny's going to leave the mob anyway.
She doesn't know that. She doesn't know that. No, I understand her perspective and her point of view. And then also at the same time, because people are commenting all the time on messaging to women that General Hospital does. What is this saying to womankind? What is this saying about womankind? What is this saying about what women should or shouldn't do?
Mm-hmm.
And is there an element of fierce independence in, you know what, I got this. This wasn't something we planned on. This wasn't something that you necessarily need to be involved in because of our drunken choice and the circumstances of your life. You don't have to, nor do I really want you to be a part of this. Is that a valid perspective to have?
I think there is somehow a way to create a balance where she's not totally concerned and he's not totally not part.
Well, she said that she's going to stick around Port Charles, and so that's a part of it.
Yeah,
at least I'm going to raise the kid in a town you can see him
in. And now that he's going to be a torch next week, it doesn't matter.
East Coaster, absolutely, fathers have rights. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, if you wind up pregnant completely outside of a relationship, completely outside of having this plan with this person, do you now somehow spiritually, morally in the reality of the fabric of the universe, now you must. I don't think it's a now you must situation. I think that she made her opinion pretty clear and he made his opinion pretty clear. And I think that it would only be a matter of time before they're like, okay, I actually need a couple of bucks. But I don't know. Michael's going to get set on fire by Tuesday.
He sure is.
Sasha didn't say you couldn't see the child, only that she didn't want or need his support, says Chandra. So yeah. You know, it's not like, oh gosh, just ignore the fact that you had this baby with me. It was just, I don't need you to take him to school. Right. I don't need you to put me up in an apartment.
But the idea that would stay under wraps forever and ever is so no.
Oh no, of course not. Absolutely not. But it's not like they're making these sorts of, well, Michael, we're on a soap opera, so we should just tell everybody now because in 6 to 8 months they're going to know anyway. Yeah, you know. They just better let Sasha have this baby. Yeah, she will.
Right? If Sasha doesn't get a good, happy ending with this story, Frank, you better be listening.
Oh my gosh. Now my mom is calling out Frank Valentini, which you know means it's a very serious thing.
Sasha needs a win big time, doesn't she?
Now that Sasha's a dang lead and carrying a Quartermain, I think she'll be fine. I think she's going to have this kid. I appreciate it, though. I like the independence of Sasha. I had no problem with her being like, Michael, I really don't need you for this. And I thought that her reasoning was sound. One, his family he's got a toxic family on both sides.
And they made her gosh darn Scorpio.
Yeah, she got it. She's got it. You know, major baggage on both ends of your family there, Michael. Like the Spencers are fine, but you don't really hang out with them. And also everything that she said too about it's like I got inseminated. Like it's like I went to the clinic and grabbed the Michael Corinthos stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's the same thing. It's just we did it live. Boy. You know, so you know, I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to know what people's thoughts were on it as to whether, you know, where the rightness is, whether or not she even can ask these things, whether or not it's morally acceptable to want this for your life. Is it morally acceptable for you to be like, you know what, I got this. I don't need you. Oh, you tell me. I was asking.
Yeah. Well, you know, I already said. I already told you.
Tell me again.
I'm
kidding. Sasha may not need money, but we know our show will accept it. Okay. If you'd like to Chandra did an ad. That's why I didn't understand it. Sasha may not need money, but our show will sure accept it. If you'd like to financially support the show in real time, click the little rectangle with the dollar bill inside. You do that. I don't want Sasha and Jason. He is the same age as Drew. It's creepy. It's not creepy. First of all, it's not happening. They're not going to fall in love with each other. I think Michael's going to get set on fire and Sasha's going to go, see, this is what I was flipping talking about, Michael. Jason, come keep me safe while somebody's hunting Corinthoses. Like, sincerely.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that it's going to be some epic love story or we fell in love, we really do. I just don't see that. I also don't find it creepy because
that's actually how Sam and Jason kind of started.
Cool. That was 30 years ago and they were the same age.
It sure was. It was.
I just don't see it. I don't see it working out that way this time. I could be wrong. I just don't see it. What was I responding to? Oh, same age as Drew. It's creepy. There's a big difference between Jason and Drew when it comes to approach. Drew has been creepy because he literally stole his nephew's wife, kissed her a couple of times, boned her in the nursery. That wasn't just so he can catch it on the nanny cam. They picked the most gross location for this that they possibly could find. On purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose.
That's
Drew's actions.
The same way when Nicholas and Esme, that was a creepster too.
Yeah. And then I just do not find a difference in age number to be creepy when you are both full-on adults. If he was 42 and she was 18, that's kind of creepy because she hasn't had enough experience. Sasha, on the other hand, has already been married. She's lost a kid. She's lost a husband. She has been all over the world because of Holly.
I don't think 35 and creepy and 50 is creepy.
I don't think it's creepy. No, it's unusual for sure. Because generally peers fall for their peers, and a 50-year-old and a 35-year-old generally aren't peers unless there's a power dynamic at play because they're the boss, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Congressman had a wife that was,
Yeah. I mean, look at Leo. Is Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney creepy? You tell me. It's a personal opinion thing. So I just don't find a difference in age number to be that big of a deal, especially on soap operas where you're dealing with the cast of characters that you have.
Yes, I think Drew's actions is what makes him really creepy with Willow, and the fact that it is his nephew's wife.
Yeah, his actions were creepy. The fact that he was into her, I don't find to be that creepy.
Like in a lot of families, like in mine, if you're an in-law, that doesn't, we would just still refer to you as niece.
I mean,
she might have actually said Uncle Drew and meant it like a niece at some point.
Exactly.
And meant it like a niece. Not meant it as a reference to, but meant it as a niece.
Right. Uncle Drew. Yeah. Totally. So yeah, I mean, I don't find an issue about the age difference. It really does boil down to the fact that these are the characters that we have available to us right now.
He slowly seduced her. Was she stupid? Yes.
Yeah.
But he did slowly seduce her.
He was not unselfish in the topics that he was talking to Willow about. He was not unselfish in the time he was spending with her. He was not unselfish in warming her up when it came to be my cancer spokesperson, be my this, be my that.
Now, I'm not saying that, he had a motive when he was out there getting Aunt Liesel for her. I don't think he had a motive back then, but 6 months ago, 8 months ago, yes, he had a motive then.
Oh yeah. He was thinking, you know what? I do think she's pretty. You know what? I do enjoy hanging out with her. I like her more than Michael deserves.
And why am I just thinking about her all?
She's right here. Like, if I want her, I could have her. Why wouldn't I try? It's the wrong choice.
And which makes you creepy.
Which makes it creepy and bad. But also, like if you just stop reacting and you watch the show, you can see the logic behind it all. I think Kai and Trina are perfect for each other, says Travois. They match each other's intellect, ambition, and compassion for others.
Yes.
But his name isn't Spencer, Travois, and that's a big problem.
And what they need to do for the two of them, they have to give them, they can't continue with what they're just doing right now because that will get too old hat. So they need to give them some kind of adventure, some kind of something that they have to fight for together.
Yeah. When he gets drafted or called away from PCU in the mid-season and then he's got to decide: am I going to stick around here for Trina, or am I going to go pro? Or this happens all the time as well. Championship game, everything's on the line. He throws that last pass and gets sacked. Snaps his tibia. Well, now I'm too injured, and now I can't be a football player. What am I going to do with my life, Trina? Boom. Boom. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see. Del J says that the guy supporting the pregnant woman to help out a friend trope has happened numerous times on the show with Jason and Sam, Holly and Robert. It lead to epic romances back in the day. Maybe it's time to subvert that expectation, Del.
It could still happen. We'll see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens, but I don't
see it.
I mean, if it goes that way, cool. If it doesn't go that way, cool. I
tell you this. I'd much rather see Jason and Sasha kissing than Jason and
Anna. The thing is, also, while we're still talking about this, right? Jason had a pretty distinct look on his face when he saw Brennan chumming it up with Carly.
He didn't like it one
He
bit.
didn't
Boy,
like it
his
one
chest
bit.
puffed out, didn't it?
And it wasn't 100% because he's WSB. That also has to do
No.
with the fact that, Carly, you invited this man to your Christmas Eve. That means that you like, I know you, Carly. That means
Mm-hmm.
you like him.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Um, in order for this is going to sound kind of mean, because Carly has no problem being with men who are not Jason.
That's true.
But I feel as though we might be getting to a point in which it will be harder for Jason, now that he's lost Sam, now that he's got Carly, to be like, well, maybe I should just have this tryst. But it's also so planned, so we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Trina's still a secondary character. The show's going to figure out how to make Trina a standout character. She's already a standout character because people want her so flippin' badly.
Yeah. I think they'll keep writing stuff for Trina, and I think she'll have other things to do besides Kai too in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. And then, so Dex is dead, right? And then everyone's like, oh, well, Jocelyn's going to get the Trina story that Trina had deserved. No, she ain't. Jocelyn's moving around like Dex never existed.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a coping mechanism because of the holiday or what's going on there.
Because, like, she just sincerely, she's like, hey, everybody, I'm at Kelly's. Oh, hi, Jack. Have you met Emma?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
nothing has happened. So, no,
Mm-hmm.
Joss is not going to get the Trina grief story. Sasha has a new family to help her.
He sure does.
But none of them can carry a gun like Jason can.
No, that's true.
And maybe Michael will be like on the hospital bed, be like, Sasha, you have to let Jason help you. And since he sounds like that, she's gonna be like, okay, Michael.
Maybe.
Yeah. Trina was a standout character during the trial storyline. She received a ton of airtime. Not everyone could be featured all the time, says Chandra. As I was talking, if you're constantly at 10, then people are gonna stop caring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I totally agree that I want to see more Trina, says Del J. You know what? I think everybody's going to get what they want, though. 2025? Without Michael there to suck up all the air? Lots of time for Trina.
Yeah. Yeah. And other things, too, yeah.
Because Michael's been such a mainstay, and he's been so well liked by the producers and so well received by the fans that Michael was a character in which they constantly had to give something to. Even if it wasn't good. They constantly had to be up to something.
Yes.
And
yes.
making it so he doesn't have to be up to something for a little while is only a good thing.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep.
All right. I think I'm done. What about you, Ma?
Yeah, I think I'm done too. We've been on here in almost 2 hours.
Oh. Well, look at us sucking like that. Oh, 142? My goodness. We just had a conversation about not going 2 hours, and look at us. I can't wait to see Emma's reaction when she hears about Dex and realizes how unnecessary her petty comments to Joss was. Oh, I think she already knows. And I don't think she's going to care.
No, I don't think so. I see some, Joss, I think Joss and Emma will continue to snipe at one another.
And that's a holdover from childhood. Because they didn't like each other as kids either.
They kind of remind me of how Joss and Esme used to be.
What kind of story has Trina ever carried without Spencer leading it? It wasn't her story, it was Spencer's. I hate to say it, East Coaster, because you're not going to like it. But Trina is not a lead character. She's a supporting character. She is a secondary character. What goes on in Trina's life is not as important as what goes on in Carly's life, because that's not what the show is focused on. They're playing young romance, they're playing college-age romance, they're playing something that they think that hopefully you guys are going to like. But when it comes to Trina being a damn lead, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon either, but it doesn't mean it won't happen.
Doesn't mean it won't, no. But you got to consider the demographic of who they're trying to hook.
The fact that they had to take the road they really couldn't just. It would have been really, really hard to recast when Nicholas decided to leave. Have Spencer and Trina's story to continue. And they were such on fire, I mean, billboards and all that. And I know some of the times fans paid for it and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but they got soap attention that the couples hadn't,
It was unexpected.
it was, it was a whirlwind there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. And the fact that Nicholas left and they really recasting it, I don't think would have been the right thing.
Mm-mm.
And I just think because of all of it, it's just going to take a little bit of time for Trina to have something because that's what we're comparing it to. We're comparing it to that.
Uh-huh.
And that was off the charts to what most soap characters get to do.
Without calling them a super couple or anything like that, because they weren't around to be a super couple, they were just intensely popular, right?
Yeah.
That's like it's like any relationship that John and Marlena have been in, except for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, who cares?
So I really think that it's going to be really hard, and I think they're trying, but it's going to be hard for the character of Trina to get like that
Mm-hmm.
because look what we're comparing it to. Other folks that have been on the show for less than 5 years, they haven't had that kind of, oh my goodness, look how much fire this has caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
East Coaster continuing to contribute, wanting to make sure that I understand. And sometimes it's hard to tell tone through text, right? That they were saying they weren't saying that this is a problem. They were explaining it basically just as I was. That Trina's a secondary character, and the expectations of ingenue status is wildly inappropriate because she's not going to get it. And it has everything to do with longevity. It has everything to do with age. It has everything to do with the people who have been on the show for 10 plus years deserve that spotlight a little bit more than somebody who just came in, no matter what the fans think. And it's because this isn't just what happens today, and it's not just what happened last week. It's about what's going to happen next week. It's what's going to happen in 5 years. Great. 200,000 people stopped watching GH because Spencer left. This is measurable. We know that 200,000 out of 2 million plus people decided that they don't want. It's a lot. This is all just the linear ratings, though. This does not include who's watching online, on replays, at their friend's house, on Zoom with Angela. Like, all of those viewers are not counted.
Right.
So, yes, 200,000 out of 2 million is a pretty significant amount. It's like 5 to 10% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know math. You tell me.
Sounds right to me.
My grandma Lou's great at that guesstimate math, right?
Yes.
So yes, they had a measurable loss of viewership once Spencer left.
Mm-hmm.
But they also still have 2 million plus other people that are still watching the flippin' show.
Including us, huh?
Including us.
All of us.
Right? So, boom, right? So, yeah, like you could change everything to satisfy those 200,000 people that decided to leave. Or you can just keep going with what you got. Keep going with who you can rely on. Keep going with something that was a flash in the pan. Great. But if we get somebody that isn't Nicholas Chavez in here, then what? We're going to lose 1 million viewers because we're focused on this pairing that isn't working out anymore. Right. It's everything's a risk.
Sure.
Wow, I didn't know the show lost that many viewers. Sure, yeah, but also at the same time, in a country in which there are millions and millions of people, if 2 million people out of the 50 or whatever that live here are watching something, that's flipping nothing, you guys. That's nothing and everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing and it's everything. That's still 2 million people.
A lot of folks.
Versus 1.8 million people. That's still a lot of people.
Sure.
And in closing, now that the NFL is going to Netflix, TV's dead. Get your streamers, folks.
That's the truth. Wait, ain't that the truth?
Michael isn't to lead either. I disagree. I disagree entirely. He's been the center of many stories, has always been around, has always been featured, does not take 3-month breaks. We do not get a limited look at what Michael thinks, feels, wants to do, or what's going on in his life. We get a lot of Michael perspective. So if you were to
not for long,
but if you were to take what happens with Michael or with Sasha, for example, and compare it to what happens with Trina, you're going to see a big difference as to who's the lead and who's the supporting. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with being a supporting cast member. They're necessary. They're required. They're so necessary they have their own award category. All right, folks, I'm getting out of here.
Get on the elevator.
Get on the elevator. Go spend some time with your families and stuff. So you're telling me that it's Nicholas Chavez's fault that people lost interest in Spinitzer and Trina? If you want to wildly misinterpret everything that I just said and put a bunch of words into my mouth, yes. Yes. Nicholas Chavez personally killed Trina on purpose. He has sabotaged her by taking a better paying job, that son of a bitch. Oh, come on. That was a joke, guys. I was being funny there, right?
That was just being silly.
That was me being silly, not mean. Plus, they didn't keep it. They deleted that message out of the chat, too. All right, folks, get on out of here. Get on out of here. Leave me all of your dissenting opinions in the chat and in the comments below. I would love to read them. Truly, tell me what you think. Go spend some time with your families. Right?
And look for us on all the channels and
all that stuff. Go follow us on Twitter. All that. Okay, like the video if you enjoyed yourself. Like the video if you think I'm a jerk. Leave a comment if you're watching on the replay. Let me know what you think because you weren't participating in the live chat. If you were here live and didn't participate in the live chat, come back in 2 minutes and leave a comment about what you thought if you didn't want to type it in the chat. Boom. Boom. You can follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, all of the 10th Floor GH, 10th Floor podcasts. Just search it and you will find it. East Coaster really, because they say it a bunch, wants us to know that Nick Chavez will be on the Golden Globes tonight. So go check it out.
Oh, that's right. The Golden Globes are on tonight. I enjoy the Golden Globes, you guys.
Yes, indeed.
I do. I enjoy the Golden Globes because they have the circle tables and I watch the audience as much as I can. Because I want to see who's talking to who's drunk, who's slouching, who's had too many. I love it. The Golden Globes is a fun one to watch.
It's a good one. It is a good one. It is a good one.
Yeah.
Bob Berry says, Matt, stick to your day job. Bob, what if I were to tell you this is my day job? What do I do? What am I going to do? No. All right, folks, get out of here. Go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
I'm going to catch you next week right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys.